a showcase bout in the bantamweight division. Sergio Pettis is 31 years of age. Raufeon Stots is 36. As we look at the tail of the tape, Stots an inch taller, but he has a 5-inch reach advantage. With that verdict down low, Raufeon Stots is in the black trunks. Sergio Pettis is in the yellow. 3 5-minute rounds of showcase action. Southpaw stance for Stots.
Two guys that know each other very well. This feeling out process is more about what new skills they might be able to see in their opponent's game rather than the overall skill set that they're probably going to be quite familiar with. You'll see Sergio Pettis switching stances a lot, giving his opponent different looks on the takedown.
Both guys pretty frank about the way that their rounds at Raufeon used to go. Stots and Pettis said, yeah, you know, on the ground, Stots probably had the advantage most times. In the stand-up, Pettis probably had the advantage most times. But this is an MMA fight, not just a training session.
Kick to the body there from Pettis. Tries to go around the back as well. Expect to see creative stuff from Pettis when he gets settled down a bit more. His spinning attacks are some of the best weapons in his arsenal. Back fists and spinning hook kicks to the head. We've seen him have success with all of those techniques.
There's Anthony Pettis, older brother of Sergio, cage side. These two came up together, trained together. Anthony, of course, as big brother, took a paternal role early in their life. High kick blocked by Sergio Pettis. Tried to throw a right hand around the corner and then a jab to follow it up, did Sergio Pettis.
And Sergio great at stepping through with his punches, utilizing the movement forward to switch his stance and power up the backhand. Tries with the long cross. Stots. I wonder if we're going to see him level change. Here comes the head kick from Sergio Pettis. Tried to disguise it with the backhand. Now he switches for the spinning back kick.
That heel dug into the midsection of Stots, who was able to fade backward just enough to take most of the steam off it. Little switch kick attempt there from Sergio Pettis. Starting to mix things up late here in round one. TakedownShop.com, home to the #1 fight short in the world, worn by our PFL professionals. See the flexibility on that #1 fight short with that spinning attack from Sergio Pettis. Scan to get a Takedown t-shirt for free, brought to you by the official apparel partner of the PFL, Takedown.
Stots now starting to hold the center a little more, trying to stand his ground. Good counter punch there by Pettis, covered by Stots. You can see how well these two guys know each other.
Stots is a 2-time Division II national champion in wrestling. I haven't seen a single level change or a single threat that there's even a takedown on the table. And I think that's a mistake. You have to keep that tactic and that option open and make Pettis guess which one you're going to use.
Yeah, I think if we see Pettis start any spinning attacks, this is where Stots will try and close distance quickly.
Beautiful same hand combination. Lead hook, lead uppercut from Sergio Pettis. Now starting to find his range.
The danger when fighting a teammate, especially someone that you know you trained with, what was it, 4 years ago? Like, you can make assumptions based on what to expect, and they might have a whole new skill set that you weren't expecting. So you kind of still have to go through the feeling out process.
There's the double.
Takedown. Lovely timing on that.
Wow, that was quick.
It was a long shot as well, Randy.
Yeah.
That was from a good distance.
And he just reached out, he gathered the back of both knees, and he sucked the legs and hips of Sergio Pettis in. Off balance and into the guard.
Turned the corner well. You see Sergio Pettis trying to close his guard. Now he gets his feet together, but Of course, he wants to be offensive here. He wants to try and threaten submissions. He's trying to creep his knee inside, maybe threatening a triangle if he can get his right foot clear.
Final few seconds of round number one. Raufeon Stots will finish on top of his old teammate Sergio Pettis. Another 5 minutes
Clean break,
next.
guys. Behind the line.
Round two set to start here in Chicago, Illinois at Wintrust Arena. Raufeon Stots in the dark trunks, Sergio Pettis in the yellow trunks. Interesting first frame. We saw Raufeon Stots finish on top. Was that enough to steal the round in your mind, Randy?
Yeah, hard to say. Both guys landed some shots. I think the striking was to Pettis' credit in the first round. The takedown definitely scored. Didn't really get to do much damage. There was only about 20 seconds left. And now Stots on top again.
Couldn't tell if that was a off balance or a real knockdown, Dan.
It looked like a stumble to me. Pettis landed a good spinning back fist. It kind of triggered Raufeon Stots to push forward. And I think he jammed Sergio Pettis while he was square on his feet, kind of lost his balance a little bit. But Stots, of course, charged in and landed a couple more additional shots in the close guard.
Pettis doing a great job of building a frame with his right arm and just making it so Raufeon Stots can't use his own left hand to advance, to strike. Stots not trying to step over the right leg of Sergio Pettis past this guard. Not able to do so yet.
Yeah, Sergio's kind of throwing his... He threw his heel over to try and catch the hip on the far side. Really, I would be thinking about that left arm digging for an underhook if I was him. You can see him throwing over the back again, maybe trying to take the back of Raufeon Stots, but he's going to need to clear the right arm of Stots, getting across his midsection, which would be easier said than done.
Randy, I put you on the spot and asked you how you judged round number one, just so I can compare your notes with Big John McCarthy, who's our judging and rules expert. Big John, same question for you. How'd you score round one?
You know, I scored round one. It goes to Sergio Pettis, and a lot of that is what Randy was talking about. Raufeon Stots is an outstanding wrestler. He's a great grappler, and he went for that takedown way too late because he really didn't have time to do anything with it. It's not about getting the takedown. It's what do you do once you get it, unless it has amplitude, and that was a nice double leg, but it didn't have any kind of impact as far as putting Sergio. So 10-9, Sergio Pettis in the first round.
Pettis now on his back, and of course Stots was able to get to this position with a lot more time left in round number two as we reach the halfway point of the fight.
This is good work here by Stots, but I'm unsure as to the decision-making of Sergio Pettis here. Like, there's abilities to scramble here, there's space that can be created, but he's kind of choosing to stay here. And I don't know whether that's because maybe he's aware that Raufeon Stots has got a good submission that he's waiting for in this transition. There's a potential arm triangle set up here. But if Sergio scrambles, he can give his back in this position. He looks like he's just trying to control it, trying to slow the position down.
Stots inching his right hand along, trying to isolate that arm of Sergio Pettis, force it upward, and work an arm triangle. Pettis is wise to it.
Let's go, guys.
Threaten the arm triangle once more. Looks like Raufeon Stots might try and pass the full mount, potentially. You can see Sergio's got control of the wrist. Now he's pulled his leg into play. He's going to struggle to off-balance Raufeon Stots with that, though.
Stots reaching his own left arm all the way around to isolate the neck and Americana grip. Pettis is able to get his left arm back. One minute left in round two. Raufeon Stots on top for most of this frame. Now he gets a short elbow in.
Sergio struggling to make any space. Like this left arm of Sergio Pettis that's going over the back of the shoulders, that needs to come into play. He needs to build a frame, he needs to get it in the neck of his opponent, or even better, in my opinion, dig it into an underhook. See, he's recovered close guard here, so expect him to start isolating one of these arms and bring his knee into play again, but he's allowed Stots to kind of run away with the second half of this round due to inactivity.
Pettis tried to grab a body triangle with his legs there momentarily. Stots will finish round 2 on top.
Stop! Clean break.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speed and power. Raufeon Stots, Sergio Pettis, one more 5-minute round in this bantamweight showcase in Chicago. Pettis now trying to get the right hand working.
Pretty clearly 1 round apiece, so who's going to distinguish themselves in this third and final frame?
It was weird for Sergio in that second round. I'm not sure why he wasn't more active on the floor. I would have understood if this was a 5-round fight because you've got more time to burn, but he allowed Stots to stay in that position. And now, of course, if Stots feels like he can get this fight to the floor in the 3rd round, he might be able to just keep it there.
Stop. Stop time. Neutral. Start
Open
5 for me.
stance
Over here,
and a
sir.
cup check.
You sure? Yeah, want to make sure you're okay. Stay right there for me. Just be careful, okay? We go to the time. Gentlemen, keep it clean. Fight.
Very brief pause in the action and an apology between the former teammates.
Happens a lot in the open stance. Do that left kick.
There's that battle for the lead hand that we saw earlier in the night. Both trying to counter with their backhands. Sergio Pettis landed briefly for a moment.
Pettis was switching stances a lot early in the fight, but he's staying orthodox right now against the southpaw stance of Stots. And right as I make the point, he switches.
Yeah, I think when he switches to southpaw, because Stots is a southpaw, when we see Pettis switch to a southpaw stance, he might be looking for that spinning back fist. He landed it just before they landed on the ground in the second round, and it landed cleanly as well. That might have been a good warning shot for Stots to stay away from it, though.
Good long left hand there from Raufeon Stots.
Easier for Stots to secure a double leg takedown when they're in the same stance as well. When he stays in an open stance, it's much harder for Stots to set up that takedown. Head's got to go completely on the other side.
I think we might see Sergio Pettis spin in a moment. He's going to need something spectacular, isn't he? It's a good lead hook, but they're just throwing too little at the moment.
Pettis advancing, try to get the right hand going again. Element, official hydration partner of the PFL, is offering a free sample pack with any purchase. If you'd like to try Element, scan the QR code or visit drinklmnt.com/PFL. Claim your free sample pack.
That was a good high kick from Sergio a minute ago, Sean. And now he switches back to southpaw. Then we're going to see a level change these last 2 minutes from Stots.
It's a good possibility, especially if he stays in the southpaw stance.
There's the spin.
Spun himself back to balance after getting a little bit overextended on a punch, did Pettis.
Yes, free baby. Yeah, exactly. In, out, just like the jet, baby. Yeah, there you go, Rick Lucas style. Got him? Spring on him.
90 seconds, there's the level change, catches the ankle, stays clamped onto it. Can he chase this up to a takedown? No, he doesn't. Pettis gets clear.
Great job by Sergio Pettis. Building a straight frame.
Oh,
Right hand
hook.
off balance. Stots there temporarily.
Nice low single shot by Stots, but very difficult to finish when you're barefoot. Pretty easy to slide your foot out of that.
Shoots from a long way out as well, doesn't he, Stots? Oh, spinning hook kick.
Stots was able to crowd that, take most of the steam off of it. Another right hand, well timed from Pettis. Kenneth knows he's got to keep Raufeon Stots off of his legs here in round 3.
Nice takedown there by Stots. He's able to collapse the knee.
Second effort knee block on the far side.
Only 30 seconds to work, and as Big John said after round 1, it's not about getting the takedown, it's about what can you do with the takedown. See if Stots can mount any meaningful offense here as this round comes to a close, ending the fight.
Now, I think Sergio's landed some good shots in this 3rd round. He's been very accurate, very sharp.
Final few seconds, Stots on top, and that's how we'll finish this showcase bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we turn to the judges' scorecards, where all 3 judges scored the bout 29-28 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, Sergio Pettis!
Click below to subscribe and watch more MMA content.